always just that active and like defending.
I think it's like
live. Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, before we talk about Arsenal's transfer rumours or lack of, well, there's definitely not a lack of rumours. There's a lack of actual guys coming through the door. People going out the door, though. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Before we get over that, though, people, it's Friday. If you're listening to this, obviously, you've made it to the end of the week, which we've got, you know, definitely with what's been going on globally in the last 2 or so years, we've got to be thankful, man, you know. First things first, again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. I hope everybody's doing well and safe. Hope you've all had a week to remember in terms of smashing your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, all of that, or just moving faster and closer towards that than you was last week. If not, then we go again, in it. You can't always have progression. Sometimes it's going to be depressing and you're going to hit roadblocks, but we go again. Can't do anything without health. If you don't have health or good health, you're dead, innit? So as usual, I hope you all have your good health and them things mentally, spiritually, physically, and by God's grace, 2022 is a blessed year for all of us financially. So yeah, man, obviously no one signed, in it. Like, if you're a Liverpool fan, Luis Diaz, that's something to be excited about. You know, Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes. Boy, nothing's going on at Arsenal right now, at least to us common fans. And it's not over to the fat lady sings, but with Monday fast approaching, something needs to happen. We've seen Calum Chambers leave. We'll get into that, where I'm not fussed about it, but I always say January is a tough time to let players go, whether you rate them or not. You know, we now face the prospect of what we've got 3 fit centre halves in the team. I know Tomiyasu can play there, but what if there's injuries, additional injuries at centre half and at right back? Who plays there? So you kind of, you know, clearly Cedric is our second choice right back, which is probably cause to cry in itself. But you know, you kind of, the squad's even weaker now. The squad's extremely weak in midfield, weak at centre half, concerning if beyond Tomiyasu at fullback. You know, lack of incomings, you know, linked with everyone and their dog. Arthur Melo rumours have gone now. We've been linked with Kulusevski. If you were Juventus and, you know, Arsenal have taken long to agree something over Arthur Melo, and then obviously we go and see, we want to have a similar sort of formula for my man, is it going to work? I don't know. And at the start of the year, we was told Kulusevski is a player who's admired by Arsenal, as he should. We wanted him during his Wenger days since he was 16. He's someone that's seen as a winger, a right winger. So again, we need competition for Saka. We need people that can play ahead of him. I know we've got Pepe, but that would be an Arsenal thing. You know, Kulusevski can play out wide. He can play as a striker. He can play as a center, as a cam. He's one of these new age players that can probably do a bit of everything. Probably not really nailed down a spot. Really, I think he's probably most comfortable from what I've seen playing as some sort of inverted sort of playmaker sort of thing, or in a natural 10 position. But he can play in a number of roles. He's a jack of all trades. He now needs to become a master of one. And Arsenal, again, I'm not away from the player. I believe in him, but is he specifically a striker or specifically a centre mid? What we need? Probably not necessarily. He's got ability and he can help us and impact and take up to the new level. But is he a partner that could play with Partey? Potentially, but he's not that at face value. Same with up front. So we've gone from wanting him / not wanting him at the start to this. We've gone from, you know, saying Wilshere cannot get a new deal. Why is he going off to Dubai? You know, ruling out AUBAMEYANG, you probably have to bring him back in. So there's a lot of egg on several faces. And I do have some sympathy for Arteta and Edu, because you're seeing the reports, and one thing I think cripples them is they might have agreed this Arthur Melo thing. They might have agreed several things, but the board, for whatever reason, or specifically the Kroenkes, are vetoing stuff. Now, that's where I cut the club credit. I don't cut Edu and Arteta any more credit for any consequence or direct consequences of not addressing midfield. We know we needed to do this with the summer. We know when everybody's fit, it's not good enough. And these lot bet on, Edu told us in his interview, they bet on the partnership of Xhaka and Partey, which isn't the strongest foundations, and the young Lokonga. Even when everybody's fit, the midfield isn't addressed and isn't suitable. So you've had choices. You know, you've let Ainsley go on loan. You've let Guendouzi and Torreira leave in the summer. We've known we've needed a centre mid. I've been very vocal. The only time it looked like we was going for a midfielder of a certain quality was when Xhaka is linked with moves away, who ironically has been linked with Roma again today, people. I don't know what to make of that, but you lot can draw your own conclusions in that regard. As I said, hope everyone's doing well and safe. We're going to get into this transfer business and whatnot. Any questions, talking points, etc., feel no sort of way. There will be a number of videos coming online as well, people, not necessarily live streams today. And obviously 4:30, we're over there on Twitch, man. Appreciate you lot, man. Man said, yes, DG, day off fresh from a night shift. Big up the 9 to 5ers and the grinders. Hope your shift was, was decent. Hopefully you can get a decent, decent shower, something to eat, enjoy some good streams and go and get some sleep, my guy. Shout out to you, K. But yeah, it is what it is. Man said late again. Oi, to be fair, man, I was 2 minutes late this time. There's progress. Man said 3, definitely not. Like G1 said, rise up the likes, people. Deluded back again. Big up DG and DG Nation. Looking forward to a level-headed discussion regarding the state of Arsenal. I can't lie to you. I'm going to be honest. I'm happy to see the back of transfer window because obviously Arsenal's frustrations is one thing, but yeah, man, I just don't want to talk about Arsenal at this moment in time, man. I was happier in my Twitch stream. One love to you lot, really and truly, man. Yo, DG at college working on a car, but anything for the streams. I appreciate that. What course do you do? Mechanics. Shout out to you, man. You're going to be zanging people with the MOTs and that. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully some footballers find your future garage in the future and you can charge them an arm and a leg, man. Watching while at work on my second monitor. Best Arsenal channel by far. Stop cutting onions, man. Please, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. Don't get caught, though. Always late, always great, man. Is what it is. I just dropped the lid, and it is what it is. We keep going. How is this team looking weaker than the one that started the season? Shambolic management. I don't know, but you have to be very special to make that. Imagine paying 125k a week for 18 months. That's such a shit deal. Personally, I think Arthur Melo is quality, and we're missing out on a deal there. And I'm not saying you, Tino, but I think too many people are doing this finance thing and saying, "Oh, it would have been great for 4 months. We're not great for 18." Is the guy good or not? Spraying cars. Hey, man, is where it is. I offered my thoughts on Luis Diaz already on Twitch, but I think it's a very good signing and he fits the Liverpool blueprint. I'm keen to see if he replaces Mane in the short to medium, excluding the long term. And Liverpool are the perfect example. They're dealing with things before it's not. I don't know long term whether they'll replace the director of football, whatever his name is, or Michael Edwards, whether they'll find a suitable manager to replace Klopp, whether they'll find a new age centre back for Konate. But you can see the building blocks they've got. I mean, for Van Dijk, they've got Konate now. Curtis Jones has come on the scene. Trent Alexander-Arnold will probably be their captain when everyone keeps it moving. They've brought in Jota, who's got time on his side, and Luis Diaz, 25 years of age, coming into the right age now. A lot of the Liverpool players are there for the present. Obviously, Salah's got another 4 or 5 years, probably the length of his contract, but Liverpool are actively trying to not make things problems. It's been exaggerated by Aubameyang's form, but we would have got into the last year of his deal and said, why a thingy? We need to find a striker. When problems are at our door, that's when we move. We don't like to fix the roof while the sun's shining. I've got like I said, I've got no sympathy for Edu and Arteta. Do I think they're being crippled by the club vetoing stuff and making it difficult? Of course, but both of you picked the role. And this is where you're in trouble, because this is where you need your director of football to pull something out the hat, which could still happen. Arteta is as in charge on the tactical front as Edu. We were told that in a statement in the summer when you look at their roles and how they're moving. Ultimately, I don't really care if it's more Edu's fault, Arteta's fault, Kroenke's fault, bro. All of you had your own little part to play. Did we bring in a centre mid? Did we bring in a striker? If either or isn't done, both would be lovely. If neither is done, I don't care whose fault it is. It's not my job to know that as a fan. Question marks. I'm losing a lot of sympathy for things connected with people, to the point where they're making me a bit of a Scrooge. Like, apparently Matt Turner's joining in the summer, so I hope that means Leno isn't leaving in January. I find myself becoming a bit of a Scrooge, because as you can see, Matt Turner, shout out to you for joining Arsenal when that happens. You talk about that, you can see how he was at college. He's got a good story. He was at college, he was a free agent, all this stuff, and he's at Arsenal. And I hear that, but at the same time, I don't care about that. I just care if you're a good player at this football club. I feel there's too much love dramas and extra baggage. I just care if you're 30, really and truly. I'm disappointed with the Arsenal fans wishing injuries and bad luck on Vlahovic without realizing that he was never our player, made the best decision for himself. Listen, anyone that wishes any bad mind on anyone, not just football, especially people that don't deserve it, especially something over football, we don't condone that. And again, I think people on this channel and people that rock with, man, they weren't doing all of that stuff. So anyone that wishes illness and bad mind on people, especially over that, I know football's tribal, but we don't condone them thing there, man. Simple as that, really. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. Unexpected high bills due for those who do not hit the like button and support the thing. At least Klopp won't take Martinelli. Boy, you never know, man. Morning, broski. Feels like Arteta wants to manage an under-25s team. That's cool. Sign an under-25-year-old midfielder and winger. But I say that he's bet on the experienced ones, and realistically, the experienced players here are the ones with the stains against their names and whatnot. Like if you look at Man United, you go through that whole squad, and this came out. I read the article. You go through the squad, and there's something against somebody's name. There's very few players. There might be manager beef, not playing, contract stuff, politics. You look at Arsenal with our experienced players. There's not one experienced player. And I've always said I class Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, and Ben White, definitely when some of their younger teammates, I class them and there as experienced players, personally, people. I class them as experienced players. But if we just look at what we're told, the experienced players, and how Xhaka and Partey are all meant to be the leaders and stuff, every player has some sort of stain against their name. Aubameyang, form is one thing, the attitude and the rest of it is another one. Lacazette, ultimately a lack of goals, contract is running up and things like that. Not good enough to, could be a peripheral figure, but can't be a main sort of guy realistically. You know, the goal, no one wants to run away with it, but the lack of goals Lacazette comes with is appalling. You know, for all the general play and all that tosh, the juice runs out eventually, you know. So you got Lacazette, you've got Aubameyang, Partey. I love Partey. I'll always defend Partey, but I don't know if you're the guy at this moment. You know, again, there is that argument, a better midfield partner for Partey gets the best out of him, and I believe that. But I'm at the point now, maybe it's just a new partnership. You can be a squad player / fight. We've been around the houses with Xhaka. We all know what El Nene is, even when it, well, yeah, that's them. So it's the experience. As much as I like the new building blocks and what we're doing at this club, it's the experienced players are the ones letting this thing down, and the experienced players are the ones you probably need more instant results from. You know, that's why I personally, not that a mistake is a mistake, but when I see Tavares, Tomiyasu, Lokonga make mistakes, you lot got time on your side. These experienced players need to help us get Europe, to set up better platforms, to bring in players and do other things and improve the finances for the likes of Saka, Smith Rowe, etc. And I think when you look back at last summer, I said it then, I think we were hoodwinked. I was at my most optimistic last summer when I heard that we was looking, Xhaka wanted to leave. And that's nothing to do with Granit personally. I just think it's more, we need, Arteta looks for a partner for Xhaka rather than upgrading that. And I felt with Xhaka kind of trying to go to Roma and forcing their hand, we might revamp the midfield. As much as we talk about we've improved our spine of the team and the new signings, which is true, can you really say you've improved or altered the spine of the team if you haven't addressed the midfield? Because we've seen different partners within what we can put together play this season in midfield. Neither, I think, any respectfully, Arsenal fans, if you know, even if the Xhaka and Partey partnership, which is probably the strongest and the one they'll do, if you believe that's good enough to help you get Europe and that's good enough to build foundations on, regardless of how old Partey is and how good he is in the new deal, I think you're lying. Have you really improved the spine if you haven't revamped your midfield? Because you could, you know, if I play devil's advocate, you know, Odegaard's playing amazing. But how much better would you see Odegaard if he didn't have to drop deep all the time to receive the ball or pull over to the right-hand side to overcompensate? You know, you're seeing it. How many times have you seen, not that Saka's been playing bad, but just to use him as an example, there's times where Saka and Martinelli, they might be too deep, you know, dropping deep, and then second half we're on it and these lot are closer to go and you're seeing Saka just rip bodies and things like that. You need to revamp that midfield, and these two were midfielders, which makes it all concerning, which means this is what you want to do. So I can only judge you on what I'm seeing. You had the summer to do things. We've known this was happening. We've seen there's been a hole in the roof, and the sun has been shining. We've not moved for it. It's now raining. Now we're trying to say, oh, where's the roofer? And so lo and behold, it's raining. The roofer, to fix the hole, he's charging a premium. Which again, you can't go around Europe in January unless you're going to overpay and say, oh, we'll take Isaac, who's not informed for what it's worth, but they're doing their thing, whatever they're doing this season, or Neves at Wolves, just about every damn player. You know, Telemans at Leicester, you know, Bissouma at Brighton. You're going to have to, they're all summer things unless you're going to do something now. And the things that could be done now, Bruno Guimaraes, you didn't put a bid down. So what's happened there? Without knowing the finer intricacies, what's happened there? You know, our link's gone. What happened there? Just to throw one out there. You know, Arthur Mello, we heard talks in London Coley and all these things. Ultimately, no one's holding the scarf. Like, no one is holding the scarf. Until man hold, this is like what we was doing with Vlahovic. I told you, look, I'll enjoy speaking about it and whatnot. It was making the content. We had a running joke with Daily Dusan, which we could actually run now because he's completing his move to Juventus. But until you see man doing this, you know, man are lying, saying, oh yeah, man, I'm an Arsenal. I've always been an Arsenal fan from the age of birth. Until you start seeing that, it's a myth. And it's not over to the fat lady sings. As I said, I'll shut my mouth until the window is closed. But the fat lady's vocals are getting warmed. You know, when there's a concert, you do rehearsals. She's in the back doing rehearsals now. It's peak. Yo, DG, if we return from Dubai, a win against Wolves will kickstart a season, but yet it swings and roundabouts. We'll get into form, like we're seeing players that 5 games we think they're trash will play well, we'll put up a run of form until this happens again. This has happened several times this season. It just repeating, you know. We might get form, but you can't run away from things, man. You can't, man. Donnies are not scoring goals. You know, strikers win games, defense wins you titles. Our defense, as much as it's improving, you've got a discount because they're very young. They're gonna make stupid mistakes, and people are further up the field are gonna make stupid mistakes. You ain't got that striker that could scumbag goals. You know, if Ronaldo and United kick on, Ronaldo can scumbag a thing for them. You know, Kane can scumbag a thing for Spurs. We ain't got no scumbags there. We ain't got no 20 league goal, man. Our highest goal scorer is Smith Rowe. Now, for all of Smith Rowe's strengths, would you say goal scoring is one of them? He's trying to learn that, which is dangerous. The goal scorers in our team are guys that are learning to score goals. Goals win games. Midfield is the battle 9 times out of 10, and we lose it. Whether it's not following runners, whether it's not asserting ourselves against and being able to break down low blocks, whether it's not being as dynamic, whether it's not being able to relieve the pressure, whether it's not being as compact. Many different ways our midfield has shown it's not levels. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I like Partey. I like Lokonga. I think Elneny is okay. I don't think Xhaka's as bad as man make out. But these guys thrown together in whatever variations, it's not levels. Like, and of course, I would love world-class players and all of these sort of things. But at the same time, it's not about that. We need competencies. If you're a centre mid, can you do the centre mid things? If you're a goalie, can you catch a ball? Consistencies. No, irrelevant being able to do it on a Tuesday if you cannot do it on a Sunday. And for me, confidence. And I'm not talking about when the fans are loving you and things. When things are going wrong, when you've made a mistake, when the manager's looking iffy, when you've given up on yourself, that voice in your head or deep beneath in your belly to keep going. That is the confidence I need. I see it with Ramsdale to back himself to say, you know what, any fan who don't like me, fair enough, but suck your mums. I'm going to show you something levels. Everyone's breading now. Potentially Ben White the same as well. But Bukayo Saka, when we was getting our asses slapped the season before last or last season, Arsenal have traumatized me. I don't even know. And we're getting ripped against Villa. In fact, it was last year. We lost to, I swear we got smacked against Wolves, Leicester and Villa once. Saka is standing up to be counted. That's what I need to see. And too many players got 2 of the 3, 1 of the 3. Boy, is what it is, man. It is what it is. So it's not over to the fat lady sings, but boy, it's getting to that time, dog. Arsenal's transfer business. Sorry, we'll just make that a separate timestamp, people. Experienced players are too close to Arteta in age. I think Arteta hates that as he feels that they don't respect him. I know it's not the same example, and obviously it's probably different when you're the big bad bully in the league and everything's going well. But Nagelsmann, he can't be too much older than them by couple Bayern Munich, man. He can't be too much older than Muller, if any. Just to throw an example, I'm forcing it, but there's got to be some sort of connection there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just asking the question, man. I'm just asking the question. Morning, DG. It's becoming increasingly difficult to argue with the fans asking for major change. I'm a positive, supportive fan, but I can sense a serious backlash from the fans coming, and it's deserved. Let's be honest. You know, a serious club is going to bring in guys that can improve it, whether it's Arteta and Edu failing, whether it's Kroenke, deserve it. Because when things were going all right, fans never said nothing. There was no picketed fence and Kroenke out and this and that, which maybe should have persisted. Maybe really should have persisted, but I could say at the same time, all right, cool. You gave them something to get behind. You know, you did the window, you held your dues, you did say, you know what, when all the signings are fit, rah, blah, rah, rah, and blah, blah, and all that stuff, and it worked. So if man have to be frustrated. I hear you, Gary, but it doesn't make you not positive or supportive if you do that. Man are supportive. I always say I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not an Arteta fan. I'm not an Edu fan. I'm not a fan of any of these players necessarily, you know, as much as I love Saka and Smith Rowe. So if things are moving iffy, man have to make it held. Arteta's got to be frustrated, whether it's because he's not being given funds or Edu's incapable of getting things done, or Arteta and Edu are scratching their head up all night, finding targets, and for a variety of reasons, Kroenke saying, nah, the loan fee's too much. I don't want to do 18 months. I'm not giving you money. Because it feels like every window, Arteta's having to fly to America or go chat to Kroenke like a Bedina. He's always having to. I swear that happened in the summer. God forgive me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm frying. I swear he flew somewhere or had some sort of speaking over him, or if it's in the Athletic, I'm sure. And just like deja vu, when Arteta is coming out and saying the market is complicated, the issue, you're right. I got no sympathy, car. The man them knew that was the case last year in January. Everyone knows it's difficult. Whether it's to sell players, to buy players, some are making it work. Liverpool are sitting there finessing Luis Diaz. Can we really say that this was going to be as hot? Look at Newcastle. Arsenal and Newcastle are very similar in the sense of both teams needed to do something in this period to kind of give them that extra boost. Newcastle left, right, and centre players have been saying no, respectfully. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Martial, Lingard, players that have been saying yes, it's looking iffy. Diego Carlos, but they're still twanging something, still making something happen, still getting Bruno Guimaraes over the line, whether they've overpaid or not. You make results or you make excuses, and again, there might be legitimate reasons, but as a fan, I don't care. I'm not working at Arsenal. I am not seeing you lot stay up all night looking for players. It's my job as a fan to give praise and critique where fairly, to just be a decent human being / civilian in life and watch my team at face value. Man, have to see stuff. You lot took the role, and respectfully, you lot took a lot of heat. You lot took a lot of praise, because I feel that's one thing with Arsenal. There's no balance. You can praise to the high heavens, you can't criticize. And even that, there's some people that will cut a bag of excuses. There's some people that ain't got time for none of it. When Arsenal is a delicate club right now, there's a grey area, and you can't really afford to do that. But as you know, on the best of days, football fans are loyal to agendas and nothing more, really and truly, and their own little ideologies. A lot of people would rather be right in that Arteta is the guy or Arteta isn't the guy than seeing Arsenal succeed. And that goes for Edu, that goes for some of these players. People are loyal to stupid agendas. People say they've got no agendas. People will say they hate mediocrity. The minute a guy plays good for 5 games here, and despite the fact they've been here for years stinking up the place, man start talking about new deals. Football is harsh. Life is harsh. Hey, man, I ain't got time for a lot of this shit no more, man. I can't lie to you. It just feels to me that Edu and Arteta aren't on the same page. We've seen a lot of leaks about their disagreements. I mean, I expect to see disagreements over players, but for Arteta, I mean, you're in charge of the technical front. I'm still not seeing assurances in midfield. Edu, you have to make things happen. Even if, even as harsh as it is, even if Kroenke said, boom, there's no peas. You have to make something happen. There has to be, you got something in your phone book. There cannot be the window's done and there's not a midfielder. I don't want just anyone. I don't want therefore don't want Ceballos with his spinneroonies on the edge of our areas. But there's no excuse. You man took the job. And your mate, I listen, like I said, Marie, you can go. Even when Marie plays, he's not levels. Chambers, I think you could have stayed to be a little backup sort of thing there. And especially as a lot of these areas were quite thin. We're thinning at right back. I don't rate Cedric. I'd rather Chambers do it. Midfield, I'm not trying to play Chambers there. But if more bodies drop, there might be a scenario where you consider that. Centre half, Ben White, Gabriel play every game for me. And you have got Holding, but you've got 3-4 centre halves now. You've got Holding and the 2 starters. You're going to have to force Tomiyasu there. What if in true Arsenal fan fashion, Ben White picks up a knock and we say, you know what, Holding's got to play there. Holding gets COVID, touch wood, then what happens? We're going to put Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's got a fire knock. Ben White something's happened. And then it's a mad thing. These sort of things have happened up until this point, really. We're making it thinner, and when I'm seeing these things, it leads me to believe something has to happen, because you surely can't be this risky. And if we are willing to take these risks, and even though Aubameyang can leave, just on the basis of if a striker does not arrive to this club, you're going to have to reintegrate him, whether you lot like each other or not. You lot can throw your handbags out at the end of the season. These are decisions that that are made when I feel there's no urgency to get Europe. Or man are going to be here regardless. Kroenke don't give a fuck. People are left to their own free devices, whether they succeed or fail. Is very hit and miss. It doesn't look like success is a targeted thing to the outside with us here. Well, we can set ourselves up for the summer, but if you finish 8th again, if you finish 6th, then that's going to have a direct consequence of, getting Europe, whether it's Champions League, Europa or none, has a consequence of what money you can spend and who you can bring into the team. Our failings off the field are having consequences on it. Our failings on the field are having consequences off it. So by all means, plan till you want in the summer, but right now you need to get points. Brazy, man. Shout out Rants. That show was brazy as well with Rants, man. Isaac's at yard, man. Can I ask what Aubameyang has actually done wrong? I haven't actually seen anything concrete. Discipline issues allegedly, and what can you say? If you've been messing up, you've been messing up. Yo, DG, the money that Newcastle spent on Bruno is a bit much, in my opinion. I don't know why we're not looking at Renato, who's available. I mean, he's 25. What's the deal for Bruno? About 30? How's it too much? Let me see exactly what this final fee is. I mean, you're seeing 33 to 40 million pounds. I don't think that's worse. That's just similar, you know, that's just a bit more than what was spent with Xhaka. That's just a bit less than what was spent for Partey. Especially for someone that you've been scouting in his time in Brazil, someone that you've been scouting at his time at Lyon, someone that scores highly for progressive passes, for pressing, someone that can give you a bit of both, really. He's got elements of Partey and Xhaka about him. 24 years of age, there's resale value there. I don't know how that is. That's a no-brainer to me personally without knowing everything. But boy, steadily using buckets to catch the rain through the holes in the roof. Exactly. Come on, live from the Emirates Stadium. Come on. You lot kill me. We're only at 62 likes. You lot are violating, man. Appreciate everyone that's locked in. Don't see Cyprus much. Shout out the Cypriot tugs, them P. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully it's all sunny out there in Cyprus, man. And anywhere else, man. I'm a bit jealous. Big up DG each and every time. T, appreciate you. Feels to me like Edu's getting played by more experienced businessmen in this window. What do you think? Probably, because there's an element of he don't know what he don't know, and he ain't been in this thing for a while, innit? I don't know what's his relationships. Not to gas up Raul Sanye, but he's been in the game. That's why you're seeing he's got little friends that used to be at Barca and at other clubs and things. I don't know how certain Edu is on the circuit. You know, sometimes football just comes down to who's in your phone book. And well, you probably got a higher kite. You probably got a hollow Kaya Jarupkin and see what can be done now. If I'm real with you, bro, Chambers come out of nowhere. That's why we have to be a bit easy. I mean, it's Calum Chambers and Villa on some John Wick thing. It was a bit like Danny Ings. No one saw it. But in this day and age where everyone claims they know everything about Arsenal, the Chambers thing took man by surprise. Now, maybe man I mean, no one's going to look at Chambers leaving the Arsenal training ground, is there? But that shows you things can happen. Wait, Luis Diaz earning less than Cedric. Bro, Cedric defo done at doing a madness, man. At this club. What would improve our situation? Getting rid of Edu or Arteta? If I had to get rid of one, I'd rather get rid of Edu, you know, because Arteta's got a lot wrong, and I feel there's no real pressure on Arteta's job. If Arteta had a bit of that Roman Abramovich to Tuchel thing, but just a little levels less, I think you'd see a better Arteta. I would say more experienced technical director if it came to it, because you could see sometimes a young manager and experienced technical director, a young technical director and an experienced manager. Very rarely do you see Arsenal's thing of both. And again, you know, I feel a manager should be very disposable in today's day and age. Your team should always have a DNA, always have a system and certain things. You know, Bayern Munich, whatever manager's there's a certain way. Not now, but historically, Barcelona, there's a certain way. Football managers are more dispensable now. I know Arteta is a manager, but you're hearing head coach. So the team, the whole organization needs to reflect things. And that could happen with a certain technical director. I haven't really seen what he's on. Like, what is Edu's legacy? Who is the one that Edu is the one that put his hat on and made it happen? We know with Liverpool, Michael Edwards, Klopp wanted Brandt. He said, yo, Mo Salah, look what happened. What's Edu's thing? Now, I give Edu credit because he's obviously helped to get deals done. But what's Edu's legacy? You can't claim Martinelli, because Martinelli's was the scout spot business. What is his? Fair enough, you've got deals done. But what is your legacy thing? So if it came to, I'd probably say clip Edu. If you could get a more experienced man, then maybe, especially in a market like this where it literally comes down to what you can finesse, then why not, man? That's the one I'd be looking at. But saying that, obviously, you could argue that maybe as poor as some of these players are, a more experienced manager can get more stability over the lineup, could make these guys maybe excel more. So I'd hear it. I would say, you know, I'm open to a future of an experienced technical director, novice manager, experienced manager, novice technical director. I would have preferred either or. I know Spurs aren't getting guys, you know, Diaz didn't bang, Adama didn't bang, but you can already see Patrici, there's a certain caliber of players or a certain sort of players going for us. It feels a bit bewildering. So yeah, man, we need Costa. I think we need God, but I wouldn't say we need Costa. Fair enough though. Andy Carroll's available now. He's in talks with a club I saw on Sky Sports. Vlahovic is Giroud 2.0, dodged the bullet. I don't think so, but you know, for agenda purposes, I hope so. And I don't want panic buying. Kulusevski is not a striker. He can play out. They can play in a bunch of positions, but he's not that. Kulusevski plus Rafinha, great window. Dream chasing. Vlahovic's agent had Edu and Arteta on strings throughout this window. We should be going for players that want to come to us, not ones that are using us as a stepping stone for a next big move. The most annoying bit of this is the club spends so much time chasing unattainable targets for stupid money, but then move like a bunch of broke boys for decent available alternatives. Because we can save face by saying we tried. Yeah, I big up yourself, Sancho. Yeah, he had to ask Kroenke for bread in the summer, and then the summer before he had to beg him to do the release clause for Partey. That's where my man's the crook in it. But at the same time, how man knew the role they're walking into, you know. If you take a certain job and it's, you know, and they tell you what you get, they tell you the job description and your salary. When you sign and you're working there and you say, actually, I don't like this job and I'm not getting enough, I can sympathize with you. But no one put a gun to your head. You knew this weren't the Ritz. You knew shit was different here compared to City. And you relished it because you knew, all right, cool. I used to play for this club. It's a big challenge. I can improve as a manager. Let's be real. There's a lot of, you know, many fans can't see things, you know, that there can be multiple truths. There's a lot of things Arteta can hide behind, things that are not his fault, and allowing him to just really thrive at this club. Let's be honest, regardless, as much as I defend Arteta, other managers can and have been sacked for less. And regardless of Arsenal's situation, there's been certain things that Arteta just hasn't done well enough. And I think the club and Arteta, along with Edu, it's a relationship of convenience. Do I think people want excellence? But do I see Arteta going absolutely ballistic in that if we had a Conte or someone that a centre mid or a striker is not here, considering we're going to Dubai and the window's closed in a couple of days? I don't think he's doing that. The same with Edu. And I think for Arteta, if he's at a next club where man have to do things seriously, he's not going to be able to come on with these foolishness. Like you look at Tuchel. Aubameyang and Lukaku situations are completely different, but in terms of just bust up with their managers, completely different. Tuchel has to realize, yo, you know what, we're fighting for things. I might want to get rid of Lukaku next summer. I might do a thing, but I have to kind of use him and keep him on side. When Aubameyang, even though his form's dead, when he's alienated like that with it, doesn't look like a striker's coming on the horizon, which I hope is the case. Does that tell you someone that realizes, yo, it's Europe or I'm on my head, man are onto me, they want to cut off my head, considering back-to-back 8 finishes? I don't feel there's enough pressure on anyone's role here, and it all comes from the shepherd. You know, if you get rid of Kroenke or whatever, then everything changes. You know, we've had Emery, we've had Wenger, we've had Mislintat, Raul Sanya. It's gonna be different pawns in this thing. Absolutely, nothing's gonna change really. And we'll see the Athletic. I don't give a fuck about Josh Kroenke, how much he cares about this club and all that crap. This is what we are, man. This is what's gonna happen. Bro, good shout and bang on the head. Do you think that they are keeping their true signings deadline day in order to make sure they don't get poached? Sergio, I hope so. But to us fans, realistically, in the footballing world, I don't think anything's a secret. In my opinion, I don't think anyone thinks a secret. Even the Chambers thing, man, have to have known in the footballing world. You know, for us commoners, yeah, but not the other way, man. Love for the super chats, people. Let me read them, and I don't want to violate no one. Appreciate that, Andy. DG, this is how mad our situation is. I'm happy that Liverpool got Luis Diaz rather than Spurs. What are our signings? Madness. Trust me. Love for the super chat, and you're not wrong there, man. Alfred, love for the super chat as well. A better manager can not only improve these players to a limit, but a better director can get players in who will improve the team for a longer period. Trust me. And sometimes veto signings, like say, you know what? For me, it would be a thing where, like, Arteta, I know you like Xhaka, but for us to do what we need to do, you might need to bring in the next one. Or, Arteta might, because he might think Edu's doing something shaky now. Fuck all of that. Do this for me. I don't know, man. Chambers got sold because we're signing Missouri. It's a done deal. Terry, I'm just going to leave you and be in the know. When I see, like I said, when I see him holding the shirts and the scarves, then I know. I live in Spain and watched Arthur at Barca day in, day out. He's real class. He's just not flourished at Juventus because he's never been given a chance and fitted into the system. Man said you'll probably see Xhaka at centre back. To be fair, we would see him again. That display picture is killing me. Careful, though. People can't take a joke, man. I'm going to get the Juventus shirt. I signed Vlahovic. I don't know about you, look, but Vlahovic signed for my team. I got him. Football Manager, I keep saying it's going to be shit next year. Can't get Vlahovic, ain't going to get Adeyemi. There's a next player that's already getting bought as well. Can Amazon not stump up some of the cash for a decent midfield? Might make the documentary a bit more interesting, probably. But if I'm Jeff Bezos, doesn't even want to pay his taxes, he definitely going to want to help Arsenal. But it's a good way of helping him money launder if he wants to. We have no chance of top 4. We still have a chance mathematically, but you know, faint hopes that I had, they've taken a bit of blow because I don't see no talisman. The talisman are the young G's, and it's not fair. Like, I'm sorry, it's not fair to rely on them to do that. Like, you know, and looking at this season, everyone was onto Saka and Smith Rowe up until the Spurs game. The Spurs game came, these men turned into madmen, and then, you know, they've been in good form, playing well against City in Saka's case. Smith Rowe doing the business at Old Trafford and just getting goals. Now they're taking a bit of a wobble. That's the age they're at. They're early 20s. We haven't got no talisman. It's gonna sometimes it might just come down to a talisman and just getting through the line, and we ain't got that. I look around the squad apart from the young G's. Can you really say, all right, cool, yeah, you're the guy? Elite, bro. United got Ronaldo. If their form improves, he can help them scumbag it. Kane could start scumbagging something. West Ham could scumbag a thing. Bowen and them man are doing what they need to do. If it's not Smith Rowe, Saka and that, it's a myth. What, we're gonna rely on Laka because he slides on the floor and very passionate in the celebrations. He got like 2-3 goals in the league. Respectfully, I love Lacazette. I'm not even getting at him. I'm just painting the picture. And fans are meaty. Fans were saying don't sign a midfielder. There's El Nene. We got Lacazette, new deal. Bro. A lot of fans that talk about high standards or suitable standards, bro, completely hypocritical. We have to recall Saliba and Gabriel right now. Good luck with that. Chambers is better than Holding and all too. Too much for Bruno. It's the same price. That being said, we'd pay for Douglas Luiz. Total cost, including agent fees, is reported to be close to 60, probably because they got a payday. I think we'd pay a lot less, man. Obviously, they've gone there and said, Newcastle, if you want him, we're going to need to get the bag. And they've got the bag. And it helps Newcastle. But at the same time, if we looked at the true cost for Bear players, you know, they'd be a lot higher. But 60 million for me, I'd rather do it. DG, if Liverpool can jump Tottenham and Dyers, why can't Arsenal jump Newcastle and sign Bruno? Because it doesn't look like Liverpool had an interest in him to do a job. We don't look like we want Bruno. Which, I don't know whether to laugh or cry at that. Is Ronaldo still an option? I mean, technically, but where has he said he wants to go? To be fair, he was at Swansea though, man, and he was really young. DG, I know Kulusevski and we have common friends. Lol, I'm sure you do. He's a quality player if you get him. My man, you are the GOAT. I am in it, but I'm only the GOAT because of you lot, man. Appreciate that. We've got the best supporters, DG Nation in the world, man. Come on. It's absolutely brazy, man. And like I said, I'll shut my mouth to the end of the window, but it's getting close. When you sell Villa Chambers, but don't make it contingent on Villa selling you Douglas, then you know something ain't right. Big up DG. Keep building the thing and providing balance and honest content. Roger, I appreciate that, and I share your frustration, man. Hopefully, they're gonna sort us out for Douglas Luiz, but many of us are looking at it and saying, you know what? Couldn't you give some money? Chambers, whatever they were on paying for Chambers, that one there makes up the difference. Bish bash bosh. But again, the man, they don't want to sell players. Like, they don't want to sell. No one wants to sell good players on the best of days, especially in January. You know, you look at Villa, we're linked with Douglas Luiz, which Gerard's trying to do a thing. Once again, Sociedad, Isaac, their season's quite poor. They're fighting for Europe. You're not going to want to let him go. Arthur Melo, a squad player at Juventus, really looked like he was going. Allegri said, you know what, we need depth. Everybody seems to realize this apart from us. Basuma, Potter hasn't ruled it out, but you have to make something serious. Telemans, they don't want, maybe based on his game against Spurs, they'll let him go. But you get it? And we knew this. So when I hear the gaffer come out and say, oh, it's complicated in January, of course it is. Of course it is. What the man won a brownie point? Of course it is. It's difficult to draw gal in the winter. It's easier to draw gal in the summer when they're out there in the maxi dresses and running up and down the strip, and there's all soca motives and carny and all of that. It's harder to find things in the summer, in the winter. The things don't want to come out. The buff things don't come. How many times have you lot been up and down your road or your area, you know, and fellas, and let's shout to the galley out there, but let's be honest, and you will be walking up your own road, you've seen a gal, you chat to her, she says she lives around here, you swear on your life you've never seen her. Come on, man. Like, It's brazy, man. It's brazy. It's brazy, man. DG, I think the issue isn't the ambition, but the complicity behind getting the right players in June. Mo, we've known this for time, though. We've known this. And really, the last couple of Januaries have been more active than the summer in the sense of, you know, we're tearing up contracts 1 week, one time. We had Operation Alexis and then getting in Mkhitaryan and the yo, Pierre, you want to come here? Bro, everybody knows that. Of course it's difficult. But there's still no excuses. Are the players here or not? We all know that. Me and you are just normal football fans, and we've known that for years. We've been knowing that. I don't want the panic buying thing, man. Man, I don't want panic buying. You shouldn't be in a. Oh, you should have bare targets. You know, by all means, have your Vlahovic's and all these guys up front, but you should have about 20 names. You know, your plan A's, your plan B's, your plan C's. Maybe the guys are lesser talents, but they're easily more attainable, and you have your dreams and that. Bloody hell, man. I'm not blaming it all on Kroenke. I said that earlier. Again, he's already shelled out under Arteta. Maybe he sat there and said, F it. But at the same time, we know football's a losing battle. I know Kroenke is an Abramovich. Abramovich has spent, 90 or so on Havertz, stunk up the place. Lukaku, stinking up the place. If an opportunity presents itself to do a bad boy signing again, you think he's not going to do it? Come on now. And I know the two aren't the same. Just painting an example. Football can be a losing game. I'm not saying buy recklessly because I'm actually tired of us spending recklessly. You know, find players that fit the system rather than just buying good players and trying to figure it out later, like with AUBAMEYANG, like with Pepe, to a degree, LACAZETTE. But this is the thing. Multiple truths can live in one realm. Kroenke has to shoulder some blame, you know, without a doubt. Arteta has to shoulder some. Everybody there, everybody gets praised, everybody gets blamed. We win, lose, and draw on and off the field together. Now, clearly, I've got more sympathy for Mikel Arteta and Edu than Silent Stan or his son. You know, the very name, you don't even know the anger, man. A better manager can only improve these players to a limit, but a better director can get in players who will improve the team for a longer period. That's true. And a bit of more proactiveness. All right, cool. Year one, the young G's are doing their thing. Who can we go to get better Saka and whatnot? Let's just say we needed a right back. Are we going to sit here in year one and say, oh, you know what? Saka would be better with an attacking fullback? I don't know. I'm just painting a picture. Since Arteta came in, I don't think we can blame Kroenke anymore. We've been spending money but not being smart enough in the market. It's the both. It's the both. As long if I own a company, anything that happens in terms of success or failure, indirectly, I have to face it. I might not have made the direct decisions, but I'm the head honcho. And for me, if I'm the owner, I might not be making the decisions, but everyone you've employed that makes a decision that is equivalent to speaking for me. We hear Arteta and Edu got Arteta and Kroenke, and to a degree, Edu got a fantastic relationship with the Kroenke. So what's gone that one on? Is anyone communicating? I don't think you don't need to communicate to see you need a midfielder, but fair play if that's the case, innit? Fair play. Absolute fairs, man. We start things we can't finish. Always poor in the transfer window. No Champions League for us in 5 years to come if the club ownership don't change. Reality is the club ownership's not changing anytime soon, so we just have to do what we can, man. This is a tropical Arsenal transfer window. If you deep it, we have been doing the same for years. Reactive, not proactive. Last day deals to keep the fan base happy and forget the BS they put us through. True. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. My worries are, why is Arteta keep on sending players out of the club? He's not serious about bringing people in. Maybe they're clearing ranks. I don't know, man. Arteta is trying to run the club like we've got hella options, dropping 2 strikers when we've got 1 or 2 alternatives and selling all our backups without replacing, thinking he's still at City. Boy. It's brazy, man. Love for the super chats, love for the engagement, love for you lot for spending so far this 45 odd minutes with, man. I appreciate it all. Make sure you're following me on Twitch between today and tomorrow. Well, tomorrow actually and Sunday. AFCON watch-alongs will be there. Football Manager later there, and there's some other, I think a video, one of my clipped up clips with Mo came out. A couple of them things to be released as well. DJ, I've been debating my bro in this. Appreciate the super chat if I didn't make that clear. Do you think a good midfielder or a striker will get us top 4? Do you think we need both? I think you and your bro are both right. I feel, like I said, a striker, as you've seen, you know, you saw what Giroud even finding his goal scoring boots for Chelsea did. You've seen strikers keep people in the league, win people titles and whatever. Van Persie over there at United. Strikers win games, defense wins you titles, and the battle is in midfield. So I hear that, and I think a striker could help us because he'd probably score goals. But I also feel you need a midfielder. You know, the striker is irrelevant if the team we're playing against, they beat the press from the striker, or if the ball goes over the striker's head. And I always do think you build a house from its foundations up. A team should be that. A team, for me, if I was a manager, my team would be not like Pep's, because I'm not like that, but a functional unit in that you can see the team functioning. And then you need that creme de la creme. I see way too much holes. And for me, if it came to it, more so I'm getting a bit vexed with no striker because of the performances in the last 2 games. But I would rather work with what I have up front now than in midfield. I don't believe in any of the midfield partnerships. At least I can say Laka might not score, but he can do a thing with the young players. I'd try a Martinelli up there. If it's up to me, boy, you probably got to look to reintegrate Aubameyang just to see what could happen there. I'm not really on the Xhaka and Partey partnership, Lokonga and Partey, El Nene and Partey, El Nene and Xhaka, whatever denominate. I'm not really on it. I'm not on it. I can't lie to you. It's brazy, man. Cedric's not even stealing the living. He's doing it with his chest, bro. No one put a gun to his head. We might be simplifying the transfer issues here. Assuming love for the super chat first thing. Assuming players still want to come to Arsenal may be a flaw in our process thinking. I hear you, but bloody hell, man. I'm sorry. Maybe not the players that we're linked with, but bloody hell, we're a fucking Premier League club. I'm sorry. We're a fucking Premier League club. Players will want to come here. Players will want to sign. And I know there's very few players that can improve Premier League sides, but there is still a wide net. We can't keep saying that, man. We can't. I'm sorry, but we're a Premier League team. Arguably, some of the players that aren't really good enough could slot here. I don't agree with that. You know, you have to assume players want to come, but you've done it in the summer. You've got from now to scout. That's dead, man. It's love for the super chat, but that's dead, man. That's dead. Of course, when you link with guys like Vlahovic and he can be offered Champions League football and all of that, then yeah, them things there come into it. But are we really going to sit here and say we ain't got a midfielder? Where we arguably need to scout and unearth these guys more than anything. I'm not saying we could do it, but that same logic would have seen Norwich not go for Buendia and sign him for a 1 odd million and then look at the profit. That's dead, man. That's dead. It sounds good when you say it enough times, not you, but when man say things like this enough times, but when you stop and think, it's BS, man. I still have a feeling one team is going to do a madness. Apparently, we only got 2 million for Chambers. Well, his deal was running down, so there might have been some sense. Love for the super chat, my guy. DG, we need you and Curtis to link up again. Love for the super chat, my dude. January is an awful time to buy. Of course it is. When you don't know what you're doing. It's dead, man. I miss summer. You see, after you see the galley example, everyone catting for summer, innit? Awful time to buy when you're a headless chicken with small pockets. Crazy, man. Aye, man, autumn, summer's the best. Autumn, I hear that, but summer, hey, when all the galley on the hot girl summer, you're mad, hey. The brownies and that. Shout out to my North London Barbies as well, man. Hey, I'll display my East as well before people start getting onto, man. But yeah. Come on, man. Nothing back in the days on 4th. Excuse me. I ain't seen you before. All right, but anyways, let's carry on with all of this, man. We're off topic now. This is what I mean, DG. Stan must be making bank for him to be getting mad with Arteta Edu. He can drown out fans crying. All of them have satin to blame, man. Leno must be going if we bought Turner. I mean, Turner, is arriving in the summer, innit? So if we're letting Xhaka go now, there's a problem. I mean, letting Thingy go now, there's a problem. Sorry, Tino has said Xhaka to Roma, DG. With that, let's actually get into the transfer business. Tino, sorry to be annoying, but can you send that again? Because I've got the Daily Mail's article. If there's been some progression, let me go up all the... no, don't worry about it. I found it. Brother. Oh, so Xhaka, if you want to go Roma, keep going. But I mean, do what you want. But that's where I need to. That's where I'm looking at Arteta funny, because that's your man, that's your guy, in it. Like in your head, that is the same way fans see the back five, see Saka, Xhaka in your head is one of the first names on the team sheet. So for me, if you're letting your lieutenant and your midfield general, and arguably in many ways, again, I don't agree with it, but the heartbeat of the team, from what when I remove my own ideologies and what I want to see, I'm looking at you funny, because you've got a couple of hours left. Well, I mean, a couple of days, sorry, left. And you're going to have to replace that. Now, I'm happy because I think that should be replaced, but there must be a plan, or there must be was. You know, Xhaka and Roma, that love affair is going to return in the summer. I mean, if they're going to bid for him, then we've got to entertain it. But you cannot let Xhaka make significant progress to go Roma without bringing someone in. You know, you can take your 20 million, but you should have been bringing in Bruno Guimaraes and them things there. I mean, it's not too... Eddie, you're South American, you know. You must be able to get a doctor to just come and do a medical quickly, or get through to Guimaraes and tell him to say he's got diarrhea, needs to go toilet, and just leave the medical place and just bust out. I swear Spurs did that to Willian as well. Instead, you got Jack Wilshere going to Dubai with you lot. This is what again, there could have been updates. This is all I had this morning when I was coming to prepare this for you lot. So yeah, like you've seen, allegedly they're said to be preparing an offer for Xhaka. They're leaving it quite late. They're trying to sell my man. So the fundamental thing, the Serie A side can't afford Xhaka without selling Amadou Diarra. So how long before we're linked with a swap deal between the two? And if they don't sell him, unless it's developed, then there is no story here, innit? That's the main thing I'd like you to read. We all know Xhaka and Roma, love affair's been there. Why didn't you lot try and get Xhaka before Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Or was that, to be fair, they needed someone in quick? Jose is still hopeful of bringing Arsenal midfielder Granit Xhaka to Roma before the end of the January transfer window, according to reports. A deal to bring the Switzerland international to the Italian capital in the summer collapsed, but Mourinho has not given up on the midfielder, having agreed personal terms with the 29-year-old, which shouldn't be a problem. But the deal failed to materialize due to a breakdown in talks between the two clubs. Reports in Italy state Roma are still hopeful a deal can transpire. According to they state that while Mourinho does want to welcome the playmaker, to the Stadio Olimpico before the window closes, a player will have to depart first. So there you have it, people. And he's earning 1.8 million a year, so someone's gonna want to have to take them, innit? And they, apparently Arsenal value Xhaka at 16 million, which again, another player that's regressed really. Obviously, he's 29 now, but not enough players at this club really increase in value again here. Really, it becomes common that you're gonna sell, man. Really, but it is what it is, people. And just to add salt to the wounds, Bruno Guimaraes doing his thing. But then again, Spurs getting turfed by, man. Mr. Bleaching is not signing for you, man. But yeah, that's Granit Xhaka, in it. Really, that's Xhaka. Unless there's something new to the play, we might as well kick off the transfer stuff as well in that regard. That's Granit Xhaka. Let's work backwards. Villa stand firm over Douglas Luiz transfer as higher offer made. Obviously, we don't know if Arsenal's made that offer, but yeah, they've got a player off us. We ain't got one of them. Aston Villa have received a second higher offer for Douglas Luiz from an unnamed Premier League club. There's been much speculation over the future of the midfielder in recent days, with Villa said to have rejected an opening offer of 30 million earlier in the window. So there's been two offers for Douglas Luiz. We don't know if they're from Arsenal. We just know Arsenal are interested. I'm interested in hella things. I'm interested in Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. Doesn't mean they're going to reply to my DMs. It doesn't really. So we can be linked with higher class talents and whatnot, but it doesn't mean much. Arsenal are one of the clubs said to be interested in a move for the Brazilian, with Mikel Arteta keen to add to his midfield options before the end of the transfer window. We know that Arteta's worked with him before. Again, apparently an opening offer was rejected, and there's been a new offer of 32 million with 3 million in add-ons, which is 35 million. Some might say that's a lot for a player whose contract's up in 18 months, and you might be able to get that knocked down a bit in the summer. I think it's all right, really. So yeah, apparently it's unknown if this mystery club will return with a third offer, but that is that. jumping a bit ahead, people. We'll get into Saliba stuff in a second, people, but I'd rather talk about that last, if I'm honest. We've been linked with Kulusevski. He's been linked with a bag of clubs. Now, we've got to be wary of anything Italian that links us with players, obviously, people. Kulusevski's been linked with us, Milan and Everton, and I've said it already. I'd love Kulusevski. Can play right wing, cam, can play deeper in midfield, can play as a false nine, but he's one of these modern age players where what are you? And does it, at the start of the year, we heard start of the window by Fabrizio Romano, we heard Arsenal are interested, but they see him as a right winger. So if you're going to fight Saka for a place, fair play, but it would be Arsenal to need a midfielder or a striker and go for a winger. I love Kulusevski. He's Kulusevski and Arthur Melo would have been right up my street. We've wanted my man since he was young, and he was and other things. Juventus have got him. It is what it is, people. Is there any feasibility? Because we couldn't agree a fee or some sort of deal for Arthur Melo. Are they going to want to deal with us again because we've messed them about? Or are we going to be at loggerheads again, only for the board to veto things? Dusan Vlahovic, forget all of that, people. I'm just going to scroll straight to this Kulusevski stuff. So it looks like another thing, people. Kulusevski has to leave to bring in a midfielder, which is Nandez. But scrolling just to Kulusevski, the Swede linked to the Juventus club until 2024, has understood that between now and June, the spaces of use could significantly reduce. So less football. Allegri, the spark is hard to strike, and this is why some middlemen are still in action to propose, Kulusevski's move away. Apparently, Milan are onto him. As we know, Juventus paid 35 million for him plus bonuses. Are Arsenal going to do that? The Scandinavian is turning, which is a pleasure. Everton has come forward, but at the moment, it does not meet the favour of the person concerned. Juventus also evaluates a player departure with a simple loan formula, hoping to find him charged at the right point at the start of next season. Beware of Arsenal, another club that had recently come forward and is now ready to return to office. Always on loan, of course, unless you find an agreement on a different formula. So again, Google Translate not helping, man, at all. Football Italia said Bentancur and Arthur issues with Aston Villa and Arsenal. I would take all three of these players, really. I'd love Bentancur. We could get involved in that. Arthur, we should be involved in that. Kulusevski, don't really what we need in this window, but for his long-term quality, why not? While negotiations continue with Aston Villa for Bentancur and Arsenal for Arthur, Juventus are open to loaning out Kulusevski, but the Swede doesn't want Everton. Juventus are working on cutting down the squad after Vlahovic has been signed. A deal has been done with Allegri to bring in Nandez, as we just spoke about. They need to have a clear out. Latest reports from Italy suggest Aston Villa are not prepared to meet the 20-25 million asking price for Bentancur, so negotiations are complicated. As we know, Arthur won't be allowed to leave on a 6-month loan, and we might as well consider that one dead in the water. So that's that. Pardon me. Some Italian journalists were, my man was saying, Arsenal and Kulusevski are in talks. Juventus the same. And obviously, Arsenal are still interested in Kulusevski. Gunners have offered a loan with an option to buy, which is very different from what we heard concerning a couple of other players. So that's that. Arsenal face race against time to sign striker before deadline. Wow, I never knew that. No, a blind man couldn't see that. Arsenal face a race against time to sign a striker before Monday's transfer deadline after becoming repeatedly frustrated in attempts to bolster their forward line, sources have told ESPN. We was linked with Mr. Daily Dusan, Mr. Vlahovic. Sources have told ESPN that senior figures at Arsenal believe their interest was used as a smokescreen by Vlahovic's camp to negotiate a transfer that provoked an angry reaction among Fiorentina fans. Well, an agent and a player that haven't spoken to you, at least what we're told since October, hasn't hidden the fact that he wants to play for one of the top clubs. Maybe they have leveraged it, but maybe you've played yourself. This is crazy, man. Mikel Arteta ideally wants to strengthen in attack this month. We know Aubameyang's been ostracized and stripped of his captaincy, and Lacazette and Eddie are leaving at the end of the year. Eddie Nketiah has been, allegedly, we've rejected a bid in the last 48 hours from Crystal Palace, based on reports, and allegedly Gladbach have been trying to talk. There are growing fears Arsenal will not be able to land any of their leading targets in January. Really? Unless they make major investment. Arteta, like a Bedina, travelled to America and met with Stan Kroenke, got flown out, but didn't get much. Arsenal have been told that they'll have to pay Isak's 90 million release clause. Sources have told ESPN that Jonathan David is another player under consideration, but the Liga club want to wait until the summer to sell him. It's understood that other Premier League clubs have expressed an interest in late, and they've, London rivals in Tottenham and Chelsea. We all know Osimhen, Watkins, Dominic Calvert-Lewin have all been linked, but again, Villa, are they going to want to let Watkins go? Osimhen, are Napoli going to want to let him go? Especially where Everton are they going to want to where strikers make the difference? They're fighting relegation on paper. Are they going to want to let him go? Smash the like button if you haven't, people. We already know short-term alternatives include Luka Jovic. One source has suggested Arsenal were offered the chance to sign Diego Costa after leaving Atletico Mineiro, although this has been denied by Arsenal, and any move for the 33-year-old would be a surprise given his volatile character, blah, blah, blah. Arsenal are also working on signing the midfielder. Talks have continued with Juventus over a loan move for Arthur Melo, while they also retain an interest in Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz, among others. But the need for reinforcements up front is heightened by a standoff with Aubameyang. Arsenal, as we know, are willing to listen to offers. However, if you look down here, hit the like button, people. Sources claim patching things up with Aubameyang and muddling through to the summer is viewed internally as the last result, but the 32-year-old may earn a reprise by default if Arsenal cannot get a new striker through the door before Monday night. Lacazette is yet to be offered a new deal, and NKETIAH has rejected at least 2 offers to stay at Arsenal amid interest from Crystal Palace and other clubs, people. So make of that what you will. What's this? Arsenal are interested in signing Ruben Neves. The Evening Standard claims Neves is again a target after the Gunners were keen on the Portugal star last summer. Arsenal chiefs are considering a late move for Neves, who has excelled under Bruno Lage this season. And I think that should be consistent in, Wolves, are, as expected, they're trying to challenge for something. They're not going to want to let people go. Wolves are standing firm in their efforts to keep hold of Ruben Neves and are confident he will not leave this summer. And apparently United tried to bag him for 35. Wolves are said to be willing to consider offers of 40 to 45 million. He's contracted until the end of the year. I think you put the money on the table. The Sun understands, the scum better yet understands, Wolves are now confident they can keep hold of Neves until at least the summer and hope qualifying for Europe could even convince him to stay. Arsenal are always also interested, and it would take an extraordinary offer to make things happen. Boy. Make of that what you will. Arsenal are closing in on, and you've seen, we've all seen it. Matt Turner's spoken on it. His former coaches have spoken on it. Arsenal are closing in on 5.8 million capture of goalkeeper Matt Turner from New England Revolution, but the USA #1 is not expected to make the move until the summer, people. There you have it. I don't know how good he is with the ball at his feet. Apparently, he's saving shots at a higher than expected ratio. I don't know nothing about the keeper in it, but I hope you're good. And, I hope you can do a thing, Hope you can be a poster boy for us, being American. Hopefully, you can be a good keeper that ties in long term with what we're doing. I want to see what the Athletic have had to say. Cut the track, people. Speaking of Aubameyang, hold on, people. Barcelona and Juventus make offers to sign Arsenal's Aubameyang on loan. How much of their wages are they going to pay? And are they giving you a loan fee? I don't think you should be cutting any slack. And can you twang your own your own player out of this? Can you somehow get Kulusevski and Arthur Melo out of this in some capacity? Can you go and get Dembele? I don't know. But again, I've just seen it on my phone, people. Arsenal have received official approaches from European giants Barcelona and Juventus to sign Aubameyang on loan until the end of the season. The Athletic understand. Hey, didn't Juventus just sign Vlahovic? Aubameyang's future, and again, he's of Spanish descent and hasn't hidden his affiliation to playing in Spain one day previously, and he's obviously lived in Italy. We all know what's going on with Aubameyang's future. I'm just trying to skip all the way. So Aubameyang's got an offer from Italy, Spain, and obviously the Middle East as well. Apparently, parallel interest emerged from closer to home, and this does satisfy the Gabon international's wish to continue playing at the highest level if he is to make the switch away from the Emirates Stadium. It can now be revealed that two of the continent's biggest sides have stepped up their pursuit and are in talks with Arsenal over a potential deal for Aubameyang before the transfer window closes. They want to recruit him on a temporary basis to bolster their attacking possibilities. Maybe that's because Morata isn't going to Barcelona, allegedly, for the fine. Or maybe there's talks with other clubs and they leveraging Aubameyang to do exactly that. We don't know what's going on. They want to recruit him on a temporary basis to bolster their attacking possibilities for the final 4 months of the campaign. And while it is unclear what Arsenal will decide, dialogue is ongoing. Discussions are expected to focus on payment of his salary, around 350 per week, and factors including the length of an agreement, as Arsenal may press for a longer duration. But you might as well say taken for 18 months, and then that's what you get in it. His contract's done. If the North London and we got to remember, it's all fun and games saying get rid of him, bro. Like, what other strikers are in the team? Are we relying on Eddie and him to the end? Yeah, I hear it. You might as well just slap Martinelli up there because he's not on a play thing like the rest of them, man. Big up Lacazette for his passionate celebrations and Eddie for the phone thing, but neither are Spartans in that regards, man. If the North London team are prepared to sanction Aubameyang's exit, who from 2 current contenders he might end up joining, is likely to be influenced by the future of Morata. Should the 29-year-old Spain international stay at Juventus, who, you know what, Arsenal might get you Morata, he's on loan there from Atletico Madrid and they want to keep him, then Barcelona would be most probable destination. But if Morata goes to Barca or elsewhere, the La Liga side are thought to be his preference, yet sources indicate that has a low chance of materializing. Then Juventus want Aubameyang. The admiration of Barcelona and Juventus for Aubameyang is long-standing and undiminished. They believe to harbour no concerns about his professionalism, having both conducted background checks. Fair enough. It is a situation being handled at Arsenal end by Edu, or maybe this is why I ain't going to by. Although any outcome will be formulated in conjunction with manager Mikel Arteta, the executive leadership and board, their outlook could be affected about whether or not a replacement can be found. We know Aubameyang is tied down until 2023, people. So that's what's been said there. And actually, I initially came here because I wanted to see where's the keeper thing. Arsenal agreed deal with New England Revolution for Matt Turner to join in the summer. Matt Turner, 27 years of age. The Athletic understands there'll be a base fee of slightly under 7 million. Will be involved with further potential add-ons for New England, and New England will also get a sell-on fee. New England were keen to keep Turner, but decided to let him move. So yeah, man, that means Leno's gone in the summer, innit? Arsenal were reluctant. This is in relation to Leno. Arsenal were reluctant to let him leave mid-season, but we'll review that in the summer when Leno will have just 1 year left on his contract. So yeah, that's that somewhat breaking news and whatnot. It is what it is, man. But back on this, I mean, with that being said, what's this? We already spoke on that. We spoke on that. We spoke on that technically. What's this? We spoke on that. In relation to Calum Chambers, folks, Chambers has joined Aston Villa. My understanding at this stage is that there is no transfer fee involved and that this has all happened extremely quickly. Chambers was expecting to leave on the free in the summer. Maybe that's why it's a no-brainer for Calum Chambers. Mr. Ryan Taylor has said on the Calum Chambers deal, or RE Chambers deal, which told moved very quickly, mixed reports on the value of the deal. But my understanding is a 2 million fee, which includes initial payment and performance-related bonuses. His contract was up in the summer. It does free up wages, but he did have an extra year left and that could have been taken out, which the club didn't. So that tells me you want to move him on, which is fair. But, you know, I think Chambers could have been a good squad option, a team that's already depleted at centre-half, where we only have 3 centre-halves plus Tomiyasu. In Arsenal situation, things can get a lot worse. And he's a better right-back than Cedric. So, Cedric, you're going to have to do what you need to do because you've won the battle out of you, Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Chambers. Show something. It is what it is, man. Go and do your thing, Chambers. You ain't really kicked on. Arsenal have said it here. Calum Chambers has joined Aston Villa in a permanent transfer for an undisclosed fee. He joined as a 19-year-old. He leaves as a 25, 26-year-old. He had 2 loan spells at Middlesbrough and Fulham, as well as winning a trophy here. Still more cups than Kane. We wish you all the best. Or I wish you, on behalf of everyone, all the best, Chambers. Go and kick on your career. The chance to play for Gerrard could be amazing. So do your thing, man. But that's the transfer business there. You have it, people. Yeah, that was a long one. Love for you lot who are keeping me updated, you know, and saying when to check Twitter and whatnot as news is emerging and all of these sort of things. But big up Aubameyang, boy. Franchise move for a franchise player. I'm just braced for seeing Morata to Arsenal. I just think that's going to be a thing. Barca, it's funny how Barca, and I would say it's funny how Barca and Juventus ain't got no concerns over his attitude or anything. Boy. Apparently, 90-minute Sport is saying Douglas Luiz wants to stay at Aston Villa amid interest from Arsenal and Arsenal and Man City. Okay. Love for updating me. Let me scroll up and see what you lot are saying, man. At this moment, let Juventus go F themselves. Quincy, you're in your feelings, man. Like, Juventus ain't done nothing to us, bro. Crazy. Let me scroll the way down. I just clocked the audacity from you lot to include Chambers' community shields in accolades during his farewell post is shameless. What? So Alex Ferguson, who counts them? Or Jose? No one can be more shameless than Manchester United fans. You used to lie to yourselves that thingy, Ruud van Nistelrooy was better than Henry and a whole heap of lies. On a side note, what's your favorite sneakers, trainers, Air Max 95s or 90s, really? Come on, you got to hail up the North London Brownings, man. Come on. Is that DG Mertz? Come on. Go check out your hoodies. No goals, no fun. Yeah, Laka and Eddie up top, we're done. We aren't hungry on the pitch and the board are hungry for progression. Would the logic not be the club does well their own wage increases? Not sure what you're saying there, my guy. Shout out you, though. Getting Kulusevski shows he doesn't want Pepe in his plans yet. We haven't sold Pepe. I actually like Pepe and have enough of Arteta's dealings. It's my opinion. Honestly, what club is willing to sell their best players so late in Jan? Exactly. Fish always rots from the head down. It's Sergio, fantastic. Exactly. You want to change that, and you probably got to change the owner. At best, even if Arsenal get back into the Champions League, God forbid, we didn't improve on it, and somehow, by God's grace, we win the Premier League or Champions League again. It would probably have to be a fluke or just something we've done in the season, because we wouldn't. The way we're moving, we're not trying to actually have a success. We've probably accidentally found ourselves in contention with getting a European place. We sat here and I didn't, you didn't. Man are saying there's no targets now. Obviously, Edu at the time probably being a bit smart with saying there's no targets, but boy, when you're alienating strikers, when you ain't got one in, I'm not saying it's wrong because his attitude allegedly, but it's not making sense. DG, shout out from down south, Shields. Shout out yourself, man. Josh Kroenke, excited yet? Ask them again. That link is out of panic. It surfaced as soon as it was clear Vlahovic was going Juventus. It's like you're being linked with players just to appease the fans. It is that. Bro, Morata, And at this point, can we really say no? I'm not really with it. But it's peak right now. You lot are seeing it. It's peak at Arsenal, man. Like, it's peak. Coming to Barcelona. Oh, that's gonna sell itself, innit, when I cut up these clips. Amazing stuff. I'm also here for Ricky Peeg in a swap for Aubameyang with Barca. Give me Asu Fati, man. If we sign Morata, I'd rather prefer Laka. It's just trash versus garbage at that point, man. G1, I love how you're onto them, 254 likes, 480 people in here. Get the likes up. Unexpected high bills, no Arsenal or any club that you lot support signings. Even though Guendouzi is a top talent and playing consistently well in Liga, I would love, listen, no one would be happier than me to see Guendouzi back, but it looks like that door's closed, in it. So that's why you don't hear me mention it. It looks like it's closed, firmly shut. If you let Aubameyang go, you have to have something lined up. But that was the same logic with me saying these loans in the start of the year, you have to have midfielders lined up. I don't know, man. There's got to be something going on. But at face value, I can't speculate. I can only deal with what's in front of me. And this is why I said, I'll shut my mouth until the end of the season. I said end of the season, end of the month, end of the window. And until then, I can have my opinions, but boy, it's crazy, man. And apparently, Aston Villa have seen a bid in the region of 20 million rejected for Bentancur. Now, surely that has direct or indirect consequences of our pursuit if it's still going on for Arthur Melo or not man said Bentancur or Kulusevski, which has come out this morning. I don't know though. Big up yourself, Joey. Hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday. There's Friday. Sorry, man said Sunday. Bugging out. Enjoy your Sunday. Make sure you're here with me on Saturday and Sunday on Twitch though. We're gonna be watching AFCON. I'm quite worried Arteta will push out Saliba like he did everyone else. We've got some Saliba comments we can go through. Might as run Mika Beref. Why not? I think Luiz would be a good signing for Liverpool. We spoke about that on Twitch. Isn't Cabal going Fiorentina? Hasn't he signed? If Laka and Eddie get injured, then what? This is why you need a plan, or there's no sympathy. What happened to Aouar? Chilling at yard, didn't it? I don't know what happened to Aouar. He just left that. He changed agents, so maybe there's something there. I don't know, man. If we look at this Saliba stuff, well, there's no stuff. He's just been speaking. He more or less says the same things, really, but it's always interesting. He's having a good loan spell. You know, he had a good game against Leeds the other day. Sorry, mate. As much as I like you, Saliba, we don't need to see that. Allow me, man. How do you close this? Allow me, bro. Allow me. Oh, fuck's sake. On his season with Marseille, it's going well. There's the sun. We won last week. Everything is fine. Is the Champions League a goal? Of course. With the team we have is the minimum. We must qualify for the Champions League. We'll do everything to get there. The Coupe de France is also a goal, but we'll have to win it on Saturday. I mean, if they get Champions League, would you want to come back? A confident player in the best Liga defense. You have to stay focused. I am young. There are times when I miss my matches. When there's praise, it's up to me to continue to be consistent. Lovely. On the contribution of Sao Paulo, he brought me a lot of things. The Greta, everything I didn't have before. He allowed me to bring out a lot of my qualities, especially in terms of leadership. From day one, he said to me that I was going to become one of the leaders of the team. He gives me a lot of confidence, even after bad games. Are you listening, Arteta? Hopefully you do that. I started playing with Caleta Carr, can never say his name, the Croatian lad at Marseille from the Lorient game. There was a good connection. He's an international. He's young too, like me, but he has a lot of experience. He's very intelligent. And he's spoken about all the others, man. You know, respectfully. At the start, we conceded a lot of goals. I was worried. I said to myself, if we continue like this, we'll take bags every weekend. We could win, but concede 2 goals after the international break. After the Lille match, when we came back from selection, he told us it's not normal for us to concede goals. When people say that we concede a lot of goals, it annoys me. Since this speech, we conceded a lot less goals. We didn't all know each other before. Now it's better. We always take risks, but we really defend together. The first defenders are the attackers. When I say that, no one takes heed of that. Defensively, we are more numerous than before. Camara plays like a defensive midfielder when it's a 6 when the ball's lost. I mean, let's just see what he's saying. On the future, on a personal level, he's mid-season. He's not going to say much, is he? The only thing I can say is that I'm happy in Marseille. I love the city, the fans, the club, the team. Everything is going well. Happy to see that. I don't know what will happen in 6 months, and he doesn't, you know, and he should be keeping everything up for debate, whether that's staying at Arsenal, moving to Marseille permanently, or rocking up somewhere else. He's contracted until 2024. Decision has to be made. I did not know that I would play in Marseille. Things happen so quickly in football. I don't want to think about the future. I'm going to give my all. Then there'll be talks this summer. Club changes every year. You have to adapt quickly. You get to know the city, the training center. You have to relearn everything. It's like that. It gives me a lot of experience from my young age. I know more players, coaches. This year it's going really well. I try to act like it's not alone. When asked about Arsenal, he said, then the question arose as to whether I was going to play in the Coupe de France with Saint Etienne, his former club. I returned. I trained for 2 weeks on my own. We trained 2 or 3 friendly matches, but I had to regain my physical condition. The championship followed quickly, and the coach felt that I was not ready. I respect his decision. He spoke about France. You know, of course, he wants to play for France and the Conference League. This is not really the same as to some of the comments I saw in the Daily Mail. So just to make sure if there's any extended shit, spoke about a slap in the face as well. So let's see what's going on here. Here it is here. William Saliba says Mikel Arteta's snub at Arsenal was a good slap. You don't have to have them. There are things like that in football. There are difficult times. It's not all rosy. Considering we made a big song and dance when we signed him, it's brazy. Even if it didn't go well on a personal level, I take it as an experience. It gives me a stronger mentality. To be fair, you've played you're up there for minutes for an under 21 player. You've played a lot. You're going to return at least at some point a more experienced player. But comes down to if Arteta rates you, which I don't think he's keen on you, which I hope to be wrong as a fan. Before going to Arsenal, I said to myself that I was going to play. I was convinced I would. I wonder who I was going to play with. I then arrived. I didn't play any games. I played with the 23s. It gave me a good slap. Today, I'm more focused. We have to do more each time. For the coach, Arteta, I wasn't ready yet. When there was the first lockdown, I was at home in Paris. I didn't do anything at all. I only ran a little. I didn't have any physical condition. Boy. So there you have it, innit? That's Saliba. Which we hope he gets his chance next season, but I wouldn't bet on too much because I don't know what's going on much like anything. Oba's gone, probably gone as well. Can we sign a player? Can we sign DG as a rotational player? I don't know about up front. Why is it not? Sorry, folks, it's not bringing stuff up. Kessier is talking to Real. Shout out to him. Boy. NKETIAH should have been sold the minute they got a call from Palace. He's not signing new deal and 0 league goals this season. To be fair, in the summer, Eddie's turning things down. Do you think we should sell Eddie to Palace, bro? To anyone who wants him, man. DG, a hypothetical question. If Arteta, Conte, Gerrard, Howe, and Vieira came knocking on your door, which coach would you prefer to play for? Vieira for the Arsenal ties, Gerrard, because I mean it don't matter if you support Liverpool or not, it's Gerrard, isn't it? Conte is Conte. He the chance to work under Conte and improve would be one I wouldn't be able to turn down. I wouldn't be too incensed or too excited by Eddie Howe asking me to play for him, and the same for Arteta. The difference is Arteta would be first if he's the Arsenal manager, because I would want to play for Arsenal. So yeah, man. Boy, DG, how depleted is the 25-man squad? Now, you don't have a 25-man squad, do you? You know, you've let some players needed to go, but what? You've let Ainsley and Chambers go, so you're weaker at fullback and in midfield and potentially at centre-half. Marie as well to aid the agenda. Marie and Kolasinac, I'm not vexed, but yeah, man, you've got a weaker squad. You haven't brought no one in. Crazy one, man. Kakare would be lit. Donny van der Beek, why not, man? They better not offer Lacazette a deal, let the brother go. 22-man squad, and you know, maybe they're saying, you know what, we're only playing one competition now for real, we'll just allow it. But whether you're playing one competition or in three, it's a very dangerous logic. You'd rather be over prepared. Man are trying to challenge for the top four with Eddie and Nketiah and Aubameyang leading through the line, and it's not like you've got a goal scorer inside forward. I don't think that's naivety. I think that's stupidity, personally. And you need a match winner more than anything as well. We've got to remember, like, a lot of times Aubameyang has scored, it's been match-winning goals for us, you know. Since Aubameyang's moved to the Premier League, his goals have been worth more points than any other player in the division with 53. As we know, strikers win games. And when our strikers seem to score, it's irrelevant times. When did Lacazette last bag as well, man? I'm not even trying to get at these guys. It's like... You're good for the squad. You can't, Lacazette you can't rely on, man, bro. Man's got 3 goals in 16 appearances. He's at the Prem, fair enough. When last did you bag? I can't remember. You last scored in December. I won't get at you for not scoring against City, even though you probably should have bagged. And before you bagged against Southampton, you know, you scored against Palace in October, then you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 weeks without scoring, fam. Them times there, Smith Rowe and Saka doing the business, but come on now, man. This is scary. This is scary. It's nothing to do with Aubameyang with Lacazette now. It's what are we doing? It's like we have tools and we don't know how to get the best out of them. It's like a young Lokonga. You keep saying he's playing more than expected. Should you not sign a more experienced man so that he doesn't? We don't protect our investments, man. It's scary stuff, man. I can't cap. Like I can't cap. dangerous. And as much as it will come down to us just probably bottling, players obviously play a part, Arteta's tactics, you look back at this January period and feel this is where you fucked up Europe. I hope to be wrong and somehow we do it regardless, but you can't, like, you ain't got Alexis Sanchez or Mo Salah to score the goals. You're relying on the young G's, them, and they're always going to be volatile. You can't rely on these guys, man. Eddie Nketiah looks like he's got an overinflated ego as well and thinks he's better than he actually is up front. Respectfully, I still think he's humble in that, but this is scary, man. There's no talisman. There's no match winners. It's not naivety. It's damn right stupidity now. Eddie's phone book is weak, man. Would you take Schick? I like him, but nah, not really. Balogun's gone on loan, and to be fair, if regardless, Balogun, he's not convinced in Balogun right now, so he might as well go on loan. He wants to, I don't know why, but he wants to convince Eddie to stay. We have to bite the bullet now. The deal's running down. Forgive me, but fuck Eddie Nketiah. Like, brother, this guy's meaty. We've gone from man Henry leaving this club to Eddie Nketiah. I don't think he's a bad player at all. You're gonna go and have a decent career, but why are we making man feel special? Why are we making dead things feel elite? What are we doing? If he wants to leave, you know, we have to use him now to the end of the year. But what are we doing? We're begging man to, of course he's going to think he's better than his Arsenal flipping football club is begging him to stay. A man that ain't got 10 serious league goals to his name. Has Eddie Nketiah got 10 league goals to his name? No. Why are we doing this? We're doing funny things, man. And we're playing man left wing as well. I just care about top four. You know, if Eddie and Laka can help us get top 4/Europa League, fair play. But we're playing a dangerous game. The way I'm looking at it, it's like having defenders that can't defend. That's what we're doing with Laka and Eddie. We can talk about it, Lacazette's general play until we're black and blue. But goals, at some level, strikers have to score goals. We can waffle about any defender's ball playing ability. At some level, you've got to defend. Dangerous game, you know. Our midfielders ain't really, you know, Odegaard's doing his thing, but we ain't got goal scoring midfielders, central midfielders. You ain't got a little Bruno or something. You ain't got the goal scoring wingers. We ain't got the strikers. So how are we winning games? We can probably keep clean sheets, but would you say we're necessarily a great defensive side? Wait. Off the field management, you know, people are cutting off their nose to spite their face. People are doing the bravado thing. People are being very reactive in the market. On top of teams being better than us all form, we're contributing to our own downfall. I want to be wrong in me, but what I'm seeing, I'd be lying to you lot if I said anything different. I hope Laka can get 10 goals. Bro, I don't think Eddie's a bad player, but come on now, man. Come on now, bro. Like, sorry, but it's just, you know, boy, it's dead. Like, we love doing this thing where we put players in boots they can't feel, making man feel important. I don't nothing against Eddie and Nketiah. You gotta come do your thing. I'll be doing the same thing, but it's dead. And it's the fact of, by all means, try and make a man stay, but at some point you have to accept what's going on now. And he wants to bust out. So what are we doing? When we needed him against Everton, he's not there. When we needed him against United, he's not there. I'm being harsh on Eddie, but football's harsh. Laka's the same. They're not there. Aubameyang's not there either. But you'd probably have to use him. Very scary. And this, when we do things like this, it tells me that there's no real pressure, because no other club is going to piss about with their striking situation if they've somehow clawed their season back from what it was in August. No one's going to piss about. No one's going to piss about in the midfield. No one's going to sell players without bringing man in. Fair enough, transfers are difficult and they take a bit of a while. But certain man would have got signings in before you go to Dubai. Certain people, you know, we're asking a lot. A week's a long time in football. A day's a long time. Let's hope on Monday, 11 p.m., I assume it closes, there's something else. But come on, man. Like, come on, respectfully, man. Like, I'm not even trying to draw people out. You can't argue with numbers, man. Lacazette's got 70 goals for this football club in 192. In 144 Premier League appearances, he's got 53. Eddie Nketiah, I know your thing ain't that healthy. Which Eddie, you're only 22. I don't like the way people are harsh on Eddie and whatnot. But the reality is, he's not the guy. Beyond being a squad player, you're not the guy for this. For years, because of where Arsenal have a lot of mediocre young talent has been in and around the first team, where we've seen better guys that haven't. I would have loved Marlon, Josh De Silva, Benassia, a lot of people to have a real crack at making first team like some of these men. Respectfully. Eddie's got 18 goals in 75 appearances for this club. He can leave with his head held high, hey, lender and whatnot. But come on now. He's got 5 goals in 42 appearances in the Prem in however many years he's been. Now, they're not too many 90 minutes. But are we relying on that? You know, is that what we're relying on? Between them, 75 goals in over 200 appearances, close to 300 appearances for this football club. Is that what we're relying on to help us? Is that what we're on? This season, Eddie's played 51 minutes in the league, so Arteta's not even convincing him properly. And I'm not against that because he doesn't get in the strongest lineup. But are we relying on someone that's got no goals? And we're relying on between them. They've got 3 goals. I mean, you can scumbag it and say Laka's had a hand in 6 goals because he's got 3 assists. And I like Laka because he, you know, when we do the VAR thing, he's the guy involved. But we're relying on above. With how many games played in the Premier League now, man? Because again, I feel like I'm moving mad. Like it's crunch time. We played 21 games, and we have 38 to go. You lot do the maths. However many games is left. We're relying on people who between them in 20 appearances in the 21 games we played. Laka has 16. Eddie has what is it, 21? Let me actually check. Yeah. No, it's 20. Sorry, apologies. I just about past maths. Like I said, 20 appearances, 16 for Lacazette, 4 for Eddie, 3 goals between them in the league. 16, 20 appearances, 3 goals. So that means up until this point, bar 1 game, our strikers have contributed 3 goals, excluding AUBAMEYANG because he's of no relevance to this. Now that we've got over 10 games left, I hope they go on purple patches and stuff. And, Lacazette has other strengths that aren't exactly goal scoring that can help us. But goals win games. Boy, is that what we're betting on? Is that what we're betting on? Because Smith Rowe and Saka, same way they were scoring week in, week out, they're going to go through dry patches. Martinelli the same. It could come down to who scores more goals. And Kane could turn his form around. United, then Ronaldo could do a thing. I don't know for West Ham, but I think West Ham, I'd probably back them to score more goals generally throughout their team than us. We're going to beef with shit, man. Like we're going to beef with guys that ain't got badness in their heart. Certain man got guns. We ain't even got shanks. Our fists aren't good enough. Like, and this is before you even talk about the games we've got to come, people. Like we've still got to welcome United. We've still got to play Liverpool again. You've still got to play Wolves. You've still got to play Leicester. You've still got a North London derby, which postponed, yeah, but you still got to do it. And you got to place a couple of dodgy sides as well. Fair enough, man. I hear it. Fair enough. I hear it, man. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. This is what we're doing. And then you lot ask me why I ain't at Emirates and that. From Millwall kicks to being begged by Arsenal. Bro, shout out Eddie, bro. Eddie's doing it, bro. He's living the movie. Arsenal Football Club begging me to stay. The manager at every given opportunity, I want him to stay. My contract's running down. We're moving like this is Alexis. Like, come on. I'd be living. Come on, man. I'm an Arsenal footballer as well. Come on, man. My head would be so big, bigger than it is now, man. 100%. Bro, Eddie's not convinced about a new deal, and rightly so. I rate that. Eddie, I'd be doing what Eddie's doing, running down my deal, going somewhere where I can settle down roots and play. I don't really feel Andre Silva, but he's got a bag of goals and he's prolific. Man said, I love your content, my G, but but I'm afraid to listen to you when my kids are in the car. Otherwise, keep up the good work. I think I'm child friendly, but do your thing, man. Shout out the youths, them. I do say sometimes I say, this ain't for kids. So yeah, man, when the kids them are gone, take it in. Appreciate that. I wouldn't say I'm running, man. Speaking with the heart, man. The heart, man. Love my club. I don't love these players. I love my club. Would love SMM, but yeah, these man said they prepare in advance for the win. Ooh, they did, They did, again, they did. They did. We have to be ruthless like Barca are with Dembele. These players, bro, you can be ruthless, but these men are shit, bro. They wanted Dembele to stay. Do we necessarily want Laka and Eddie to stay? I mean, I blame fans for just the bullshit because if Eddie plays well for 5 games, they'll start gassing it like I like El Nene. But I don't blame the fans. We're not picking players, man. Bit harsh because the buy trip ain't really interchangeable, but hey, Eddie is dead food. Bro, Eddie's some wet star dog, bro. It's not grinding. This guy is Hugh Wizzy too. Love to Hugh Wizzy, Lewis, but I'm my own man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I got my own style, my own flow. I'm my own guy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. There's only one DG. Don't know about that. You know, my mum and dad, 26 years ago met, had a great kid. I'm way too original in this life, and everyone's way too unique to be someone else. I appreciate that, but you're gonna have to put respect on my thing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's like when you lot say you look like Bergeron. No, fam, Bergeron looks like man, bro. He looks like man. I'm gassed, man. I'm gassed. But anyways, we are toothless up front and in the transfer market. Pray to the gods / everything. Scary hours. In fact, it's been a scary 16 years for Arsenal. Bloody hell. Eddie is playing a risky game running down his contract. No, he's not, because he's going to get a decent signing on fee. He's going to get decent wages. He's defo not. Eddie's defo doing the right thing, Jason, running down his deal. And again, he'd be a dickhead if he signed. And Arteta, I would like Arteta to get him to sign a new deal. Let him go out on loan, see what he's on in the next 18 months. If he can be a squad player, come, Eddie, do your thing. If not, let's make some bread. But Eddie's doing the right thing. The thing Eddie's going to do is, he's going to need to kind of be humble and accept that I'm not that guy. He needs to go to maybe not the biggest wages, but the team that has the least resources where they're going to have to use him, because some of these teams he's been linked with, I think he could get football, but would he necessarily be the starting striker at Palace, at Brighton, at half these teams he's been linked with? But I think he's doing the right thing, and he'd be a dickhead if he signed a new deal. What, the club are in talks for a new striker. Yeah, you might stay, and Laka's gone, Aubameyang's gone. It could be a squad player thing, but you still got Balogun. You still only played 50 odd minutes in the league. Eddie'd be an idiot to sign that deal right now. Promises are comfort to a fool. What Eddie and his agent are doing the right thing. The problem is, for me, is Eddie's contract, bro. Man, this is now affecting my emotions because we're playing him for no reason. Like, this is, bro, it's Eddie and Nketiah, fam. Should have been more noise for Chris Willock and them sort of players there. Or one day Daily, bro. Big up Eddie's thing, but come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Seriously. You might have to, man. You might have to do the false 9 thing. I said behind the people. I appreciate that. Nah, you got, man. Toothless how we couldn't score against City, Liverpool, and stubborn Burnley in a condensed fixture list, and we are suddenly crap. I never said we're crap, but if you want to thingy, if you want to do the ranting thing and being negative, if you want to do the overly positive, do what you want to do. What we can't act like it's not been a mixed bag. Some of you are too quick to proclaim Arsenal are back or Arsenal are finished. We are toothless in front of goal. We're relying on our young players that are developing and their purple patches are riding that form. We are toothless in front of goal. And really, is that the same 3 games you said about being able to break them down? There's other examples. Condensed fixture list. We're out of 2 competitions. We probably had the easiest fixture calendar with everyone. We've been cancelling games. Let's not make excuses. And condensed fixture list, that doesn't make sense, bro. Because again, if this team wants to get back into Europe, you're going to have to play on a Tuesday and Saturday, or like we was in the Europa on the Thursday and the weekend. So what are you talking about? I don't say nothing comes out of my mouth for no reason. I don't know about you. Please allow me. Bro, we can't cook him, man. Look, I looked at his name, Frank in Dukes, and I thought, you know what, it's Friday. I'm gonna allow him, man. Frank, just suck him up. Simple as that. Promises are a comfort to an idiot, man. Ben Chafe was at levels, but at the same time, I'm not gonna talk too tough, but certain ex-Arsenal players feel that. Kulusevski's definitely not dead, but everyone's allowed their opinion. Bro, don't listen. This Crazador, brother, let man do his thing, man. Like, you can't. I don't tell people what to think, just to think. And if that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks, innit? But I know my thing, innit? I love football. I love Arsenal Football Club. I'm waffling. Way before YouTube, I was waffling about Arsenal to my brethren. I'm not coming out with nothing I don't believe, rightly or wrongly. I'm open to my opinion changing. But come on now. You know, you lot can't have it both ways. You cannot have, I want to be, we need to be challenging for trophies, and we need to be all of these things, and then complain when it's a condensed fixture list. What the fuck do you think is going to happen next year? Do you not think that happened with City? When we played City, go and listen to their language. There was a condensed fixture list for them. As much as I was happy with our performance, as I said, they had some injuries, they had a condensed fixture list, they were quite tired, and they played us where we're keen to beat them and all these things. Come on now. Come on now. This is why when you lot say things like, oh, don't sign Odegaard because we got Smith Rowe, I tell you lot why you're being stupid. And you lot will say this, and then certain players who are shit will play well for 5 games, and you'll drop your panties and knickers again. Come on now. You lot don't, a lot of you don't have balance. As long as Arsenal win, you lot are happy, you shut up. If Arsenal lose, you just want to rant. You don't want to actually look at things. How many times, bro? Half the time I'm watching games 2, 3 times. Allow me, man. Allow me. 2022, I'm not accepting bullshit from people. I can't lie. I've been too nice in this game. It's time to start, it's a villain thing now, man. It's not even true. Some fans just don't want to hear. Some fans can't deal with narratives that might not be theirs. Crazy, man. Come on, man. Shout the Kenyans in the building, man. I'm capping, man. Capping, bro. You don't even believe what you're saying. Like, I know you lot don't. Like, I've got a conscience, and I hope you lot do. I can't go to sleep if I know I've lied to myself and lied to people, them, and being something I haven't. So I know you lot don't believe what you're saying. I know you lot don't in your heart. And if you do, I think you man need my name. Bro, some fans have no balance. They don't know what balance is. Our club doesn't know what balance is. And a lot of the things that some fans want from the club, they don't show it. They don't hold themselves to some of these high standards. They're moving mad. Allow it, man. Allow me today, man. Allow me, man. I'm here every day for some of you, and some of you just pee me off. Like, respectfully, I respect everyone, but some people like it, man. Allow it, man. I love this club too much. I'm way emotionally attached to put up with some of this nonsense and accept nonsense and cap. Hell out of here with that, man. You don't believe it, brother. Oh, boy. I don't know what Barca are doing though. Adama Traore and Aubameyang. The icy freeze are building again. Might have to support Barca again. Still, we definitely need depth. It's never enough. We need to be objective. Most fans don't, because most fans just whatever happens in that night is a fact, bro. Some fans were onto Tomiyasu over Brighton, and they're onto him now, and now they're loving him, and they'll love and hate him again. You read between the lines. When you find out, Big Gunner, let me know, man. I think many fans aren't asking for us necessarily to spend the bag, but you must be able to adapt your situation and work with what you've got. If you've got £5, I don't think you can go weight rolls. I think you need to go Aldi and adapt. You could still make a meal, without a doubt. Yeah, Chambers wants to kick ball. And to be fair, it frees up the wages, man. Some people don't know ball, man. Some people don't know ball. Some people don't know ball at all, man. Like, your girl don't want me to slow down, man. You know my thing, Minute Man FC. I'm childish sometimes, man. The fan base is the root cause of the club's problem. Rush. I think there's a rush of blood there. I don't think that's true. Oh, man. Yeah, Jonathan David did his thing, doing his thing, man. Needs to come true. This is why I bake on social tick, bro. I use social media for banter and just to read things, man. Do you know how much things and people that are muted and blocked? Like, to be fair, I got a bag of people muted before I knew you could before I knew you could mute. But listen, people just want People just want to be excited, man. Like, just chat shit for the sake of chatting shit. I'm not on it, so yeah, man. Is what it is, man. Last question, man. Before I let you lot get out of here, man. What happened to you, DG? You are so savage now. I've always been a villain, broski. You know, it just I don't know, it's over familiarity or something, man. I'm not savage at all, but I've always been this. I'm telling you that just DG, when this season started, the idea was to get the style of play down to a T. Let's keep that focus, improve, and results will show. We're getting too emotional. I can only speak for myself. Everything I've said today, I've said throughout every live stream. So I'm not too sure. And that football's an emotional game. You know, if I was looking at it with emotion, I would have called everybody shit. You know, you need to do more than that. You know, improvement, style of play, they're a given. You shouldn't get praise for that. The results are showing, but at the same time, this is where you need to kick on. This is where you either doom and gloom, or respectfully, I think you're a good example. You know, you either discredit everything Arsenal's done up until this point, or you just quite frankly cut excuses. There's no middle ground. I think you're really and truly being quite meaty with that example, really. Again, the base level. Certain managers have come in 2 weeks and shown get a style of play. You don't get praise for showing a style of play or an identity. Definitely righting your own wrongs. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. You know, the results will come, but the results have been a mixed bag. All the stuff I'm talking about now, I told you, look, these things were happening in when we was going on an unbeaten run. I've been telling you this from Emre's thing. Go and check it. A lot of people used to draw me out when I used to say, listen, this Emre thing is looking booky in this unbeaten run. Half our unbeaten runs have stunk up the place. Results are all that matters, but results only tell half the story. Nobody cares about it, because the same way we were playing against Burnley, elements of that against Newcastle when we beat them at the Emirates. Norwich the same. You know, too poor on the transition from defense and attack on when we need to defend. Brushing past our midfield, inability to break down low blocks, left hand centric, relying on the same player, strikers not scoring. These are things that have been there from August till now. I don't know about you lot, but I watch games twice and I know what I'm saying, and I say what I mean and I mean what I say. I don't know about you lot, so I don't know where that's coming from, my guy. Obviously, the papers, the media, they like doom and gloom and them things there. But that's dead, man. And I wouldn't say the idea was to get a style of play down to a T. The idea is to get back into Europe because of the finances that comes with and the platform. What? We're just going to, the goal is just to build a team. Come on, man. That's the problem, DG. Some people love their agendas more than the club. They go silent and then pipe up with that. I told you so. Exactly. Anyone on that, they can fuck themselves because that's dead. Oh, I don't know if I'm spot on, but I just think some people too negative and some people just chatting shit, quite frankly. Apologies for the language, but you know, in fact, no, I'm not apologizing for no language. Have some of you been to a football ground or been in a football stadium? When by God's grace, if Sky Sports and them lot deal with me, and if you're watching, you know me, I can, yeah. And obviously, I think that get me, man, and all my IC3s out there, get me, man, can do certain voices and stuff. You wouldn't know who's who on the phone, you know. So allow me, but this is my platform. I'm tired of accepting nonsense, bro. And that's the problem. Get more bang for your buck. The reality is Arteta underperformed last year, so we're behind this so-called project. It's only right we ask to exceed expectations. Bro, listen, at the start of the year, top four weren't a thing, so I'm not going to get onto you in that, but things change in life. Things change. You might be in an F1 race and you're at the back and certain accidents and whatnot has happened and you can win the race. So you're going to say, well, man was meant to come 10th anyways. I'm not going to try win it. Oh, what that? What's going on there? It's not making sense, is it? You know? It's not making any sense. It's not making sense, man. Tactics are shocking. I wouldn't say shocking. I wouldn't say Arteta's tactics are shocking. I think that there's a lot to like about what he's doing. But again, there's balance. I'm not going to be an Arteta pitchfork don, and I'm not going to be an Arteta hater. Like, I'm going to call it as I see it. If there's things that I like, then I'll say it. If there's things I don't like, is what it is, man. Yeah, he scored a serious goal yesterday, Jonathan David, but it's not in Arsenal shirts, is it? I can sit there and be like, yo, it is what it is, but boy. Oh, just dropped my AirPods. Hope they ain't broken, or they'll be a shame. Thoughts on Isaac and Calvert-Lewin? I'd rather Isaac than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, but the thing is, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's probably got a healthier goal record at this moment in time. If you don't have the quality to execute it, then I think he is executing what he's doing. But at the same time, you need to adapt. Adapt to your players then. There's at one hand, bro, man can't just become managers and directors and players here and just find excuses. You knew what time it was. Everybody knew. I said at the start in August, the gloves are off. There's no hiding places. Come on, man. And people know against Arsenal, you play low blocks, you dominate our midfield, you have half a chance, like what Rochelle is saying. Facts, and other clubs now seem to be clocking on, shut down the flanks. Arsenal run out of ideas, nothing through the middle. We run into problems, seeing glimpses already. Exactly. I wouldn't mind NDD, but it's looking a myth, man. And to be fair, I'm not really the biggest NDD fan. I'm not gonna sit here and gap to you. Question: how can fans get so excited over a new kit then cuss the club for signings? I don't know, man. Oh, man. Hope everyone's having a good Friday anyways, people. And on that, you know, I'm going to eat, man. You're not the same when you're hungry. Maybe a lot of it is out of hunger, man. So let me go eat and see how I feel. I'm back again at 4:30. That's on Twitch. I'm doing AFCON watch-alongs on Saturday and Sunday. That's also on Twitch. So make sure you're thinking that and you're following me on my socials and you're checking the Twitch schedules. There'll be some other content to come out on YouTube today. Not live streams, but a couple other things as well, man. I hope everyone's having a lovely Friday. Come on, of course you are, man. You know, I'm sure you're doing what you're doing. You're getting Luis Diaz, Diaz, better yet. Do your thing, man. But on a serious note, I hope everyone's doing well and safe fundamentally, man. Again, football is the world to me, and I'm sure it's the world to you. Very few things more important than football. Our health is one of them. So as usual, I hope everyone's got their health in all aspects and their loved ones the same. Hope you're all moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. And whatnot. It is what it is. What have you said? DG, who you got for AFCON? Not a clue. When Nigeria went out, not a clue. Not a clue, man. Not a clue. DG, you seen the news about Juventus and Barca? Yeah, we spoke on that, man. Let me actually drop the timestamps here for you lot as well, man. There's your timestamps. I'll put them in the description as well. Check the descriptions on all my vids more time. They're there as well. But yeah, man, if you've missed out anything, it's not copied and pasted properly. So it's kind of flopped it. But yeah. In fact, let me just do that now, man. I don't trust that. That's looking bugged, man. Let me put it in the description now. Hit the like button if you haven't as well, folks. Let me slap that in here for you lot because this is looking beaky, man. There you have it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, it's in the description of the video in it. So you lot do what you need to do. I keep saying last question. Last question for real. How Barca and Juventus want Oba, but we don't, because he's not behaving himself at Arteta, innit? Maybe he tried to flex his muscle. I don't know, man. I need one of them to come out and say everything, innit? Because it seemed like that AUBAMEYANG Arteta thing, something just changed overnight. It felt like this thing just happened overnight, really. Man said they have common sense, all that. Yeah, man. Anyways, on that note, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Yeah, I'm out for real now, man. I'm out. I keep saying that, but I'm out.
Because you always use that active and like defenders.
I think it's like